Yeah, I mean, that's kind of at the core of what Selway's all about. My father, our former president, had a quote, it's all about the relationships that you have with these people. All we are is our relationship.
Welcome back to MTDCNC. Today I have the pleasure to be with my longtime friend and a workmate, Wednesday friend, my buddy Zack Selway. We're going to talk a little bit about the Selway Company, the partnership with Matsuura, the service and support they offer, and if you get really lucky, we might talk about surfing and snowboarding because we're both into that a little bit, right? So you might get lucky today. However, to start off, Zack, thank you so much for being a part of MTD. I'm very excited to spend time with you again.
Absolutely, Tony. Thanks for having me here.
It's always a pleasure, my friend. It really, really is. I mean that. So let's start off with talking about Selway. Obviously, your last name is Selway. You're kind of a part of the family. It means a lot to you. But convey that passion to the audience that's watching right now. Let us know what you represent, the family-owned company, what territories you represent, what machines you represent, so that we can understand a bit more about Selway as a whole.
Sure, yeah. So, well, as you know, we cover the West Coast, from Washington down to the Mexican border. We have facilities in Washington, Oregon, 2 in Northern California, which covers Northern Nevada as well, and 1 down here in Southern California out in Ontario. Have about 150 employees, with the majority that we were talking about are service technicians. We'd like to think machines don't break down, but just like a car, they do. And that's kind of one thing we're very proud of, is that we can support anybody, anywhere. We've set up small shops, even out in the Central Valley, with service technicians that have gone out there to live so they can support those communities in areas like Fresno or way up north in Northern California, places like Willits, So, we've been doing this. My grandfather started the company in 1963, so we're 3rd generation now. Lots of Selways are involved within the company, cousins, brother-in-laws, you name it. But it doesn't just stop with the Selways, really. I mean, we have 2nd generation service technicians, 2nd generation CFOs. Our CEO is a 2nd generation employee at Selway Machine Tool. So the family thing is very important to us, and the relationships really that we built along the way is something that we hold true to.
So let's talk about the relationship with Matsuura specifically.
Yep.
As the audience can see, we're standing in front of these big, blue, beautiful machines, right?
Yep.
Had a little bit of a tongue twister with all those B's, but these big, blue, beautiful machines.
Absolutely.
What's that relationship like with Matsuura? And as far as the service side of things, even though they never break down, right? Even, we play that game. We know that all machines eventually need service and support. What's that relationship like with Matsuura?
Matsuura's been a great one. I mean, I can remember as a little kid when we first signed up with them in 1977. So I was, knee-high to a grasshopper when my father signed up with Matsuura. And it's been a great relationship ever since. Matsuura really brings that high technical value to the machine tool industry. That's what they focus on, right? That just getting better, thinking of creative ways, maximizing their spindles. I mean, they're the godfathers of the palletized, manufacturing system, 5-axis. So, they really value that high precision customer relationship, palletized automation with tools, which is great for the West Coast high mix, low volume production. You load several tools in there for a job, load those pallets up. They could be mixed jobs from different part numbers, and you let it roll. So it's great out here for that high mix, low volume.
I like that you said that, Zack, and I like that you can read my mind from time to time as well. When I think about Silicon Valley, when I think about Southern California, when I think about the creativity that comes out of these places, up in Seattle as well, we know the list of companies that are based in these areas. We know the amount of creativity. And when you think creativity, it's exciting, but it's not production, is it? So it is oftentimes high mix, low volume. Pallet change means they can run 24/7, 7 days a week, without having to stress about it going down, thanks to the accuracy and precision that go along with it as well, right?
Yeah, and that unmanned, everybody, it's lights out, but it's also during the day, right? So you can see we don't have an employee standing in front of this. One guy can man several machines, right? As they go through, depending on what the cycle time is. So it is just that unmanned. It's those times in between that really add up. I mean, if you can shave off a minute and a half per part and you're doing 20 parts a day, I mean, you do the math, those numbers start adding up over weeks, over months. So it is that unmanned, whether it's overnight or over the weekend or while someone's on lunch break. So I mean, everybody needs to be getting automation. It's such a buzzword, I'm sure you hear everywhere you go, but it's true. These guys started it. It's Brian was talking about people wanting to see the robot today earlier, and it's in there, trust me.
Zach, if it's okay with you, I'd like to touch base a little bit more about the importance of the customers or the relationships or the partners that you guys have, including someone like Trio. Now, they obviously wouldn't have bought one Matsuura 5 years ago, up to 7 5 years later. Now they have 7 machines.
Right.
If your relationship with them wasn't good, and I know this isn't the only story on the West Coast, I hear it echoed and conveyed all the time, and I know how much it matters to you. Would you mind sharing what it means to have these type of relationships with these people?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of at the core of what Selway's all about. My father, our former president, you know, had a quote, you know, it's all about the relationships that you have with these people. All we are is our relationship, I think is what it was, to misquote it. So it really is. I mean, we came in here, I think, in 2000 and got our first MAM. And you're right, it wasn't easy. There was some other, you know, machines in here, and obviously whenever you get a new machine in there, you have to test it out, prove it out. They opened our doors to us, and we didn't want to fail them, I guess, right? You know, and we want to see them succeed.
Well, Zach, your father is a legend. Your family is a legacy.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you and the family for everything you've done. And based on what's happened, I would love to offer you a hug right here, right now, on record.
I'm a little bit sweaty.
It's okay, it's okay. Selway is
appreciate
amazing. Zach, you are amazing. All
Likewise.
the best to everything moving forward.
Yep.
Your dad, absolutely incredible.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.